Good evening, everyone. We're here for the Masterclass Marathon, the Sunday segment. I'm excited. I hope that you are. So let me get something up on the screen so that you guys will know exactly where you are and what's going down. I'm super excited, okay? So all I want you guys to do is get your pen and paper ready so that we can begin the Masterclass Marathon. Today, we have a slew of speakers, okay? So I want you to make sure that you're fully ready for what we're going to be sharing today. So welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining. All right, sit tight because there are many speakers coming up this evening. So today you are joining the Masterclass Marathon. What I want you to do is make sure you do your fair share of sharing this out so that some other folks will get a chance to get this information as well. Today, please, and any other day that we do this, don't be stingy. Make sure you're sharing the live out. So I'm going to begin to bring my speakers up, but I'm definitely making sure that I'm doing my fair share of sharing the live. Hello, welcome. All right, guys. So those of you who are my speakers, please request to be in a live and make life easy for me. And I am going to bring you guys on up. I'm super excited about everyone that's going to be here in the building tonight. Let me share what this is all about so you all know what is going down. You're here at the Masterclass Marathon. We are here to share information with those who don't know they needed the info and some who knew they actually needed it. So we have a slew of speakers this evening, and what we're going to be doing is each person does a 13-minute mini masterclass for you. What happens is they're going to teach you something about the business that they operate, and we're also going to make sure that they get an opportunity for 2 minutes. So they have 13 minutes to speak, and then they have 2 minutes to let you know who they are, where they're located, what they actually have to offer, okay? So I'm excited. Let's start bringing the speakers up on the stage. Listen, share this live out. It's going to be super powerful and impactful tonight. So what I want you guys to do as the speakers is request to be in the live. Now, there are a bunch of you that are coming in tonight, so I want to make sure that I can see everyone, and I'm going to start bringing you guys on up. So please request to be in the live, my speakers, so that I can see you and bring you all up. Now, what you should know is that you're going to need a pen and paper tonight. Why? Because they are going to give you this information that you are going to be so excited about carrying on your way. Okay, let's go. So, all right, let me get them up here. All right, my lovely folks. All right. Okay, bringing them up. All right, you guys are going to see them starting to pop up on the screen. I'm excited. All right, everyone's coming in. Hello, good evening. I'm so excited to see you guys. All right, we got one more we need to bring up. And and it's going to be an amazing evening. All right, let's go. All right, welcome. All right, hey guys. All right, so I don't know who is actually going to end up going first, second, third, fourth, all of the positions, but we're doing the thing tonight. So, all right, you guys all know what to do, right? We got 13 minutes on the clock to share your information. So we're doing mini master classes here. So everyone that's watching, pen and paper tonight, make sure that you are fully ready for this information. And what we're going to do, I see someone is unable to join. Let's see what's going on with them. So we're going to make sure that everyone is able to receive the info. Make sure everyone is sharing the live out. The reason why we do this is because when we're here, we're actually able to share audiences. So what happens is everyone that's on the screen, their audiences are coming in and everyone gets to meet some new people. So those of you who are out there watching, if you like what you hear and someone is saying something that you want to connect to, I want you to make sure that you give them a quick follow. Give them a quick follow, okay? That's what I want you to do. All right, let's see. Okay, let me see. I'm waiting for one more person to come up because Mimi always goes first, and she has been here, so I was trying to get her. Okay, it's not able to bring her in. Okay, I'm going to invite another guest up, but which one of you ladies would like to go first? 13 minutes on the clock, and then 2 minutes to tell us exactly where we can find you. And I want you to have your offer ready. We're not going to be too shy to tell people what you have to offer after you've served and given out this information tonight. Okay, who said they want to go first? Okay. All right, Trey.
Oh, I was figuring out how to unmic this little thing. Okay, so honestly, I haven't gone live with all these people before. So I was like, oh, my little, and the screen changed and the things went away. So hi, everyone. This is Trey coming at you with some trade talk. Miss Tamika, thank you so much for this masterclass. I am so grateful to be here to share space with you. Oh, look, we got the other person in. Yay! So I am an intuitive.
I'm going to put your 13 minutes on the clock now, okay?
All righty, let's go, girl. I'm ready. Hi, everyone. I'm an intuitive healer. I am the CEO and founder of Return to Self. I am here to help people discover how to self-actualize their best life. So if you give you some tips and trips of course now. So okay, hopefully you can still hear me. So I am here to help you discover how you can align with your passion and your purpose, because most of us don't realize that it is not what you're doing. Very few of us are actually doing our purpose right now. So many of us, you guys, we did what our parents taught us to do, right? Or we got the training from school early on saying, okay, go this, do that. This is what we need to do. But for many of us, we are not waking up in, okay, so raise your hand. How many of you guys wake up every day going, oh my God, I can't wait to go to work. Oh my gosh, I am so excited to get up and create my day. How many of us are so, yeah, because that's why you get to be on the thing. Yay, because we get to help people. So many of the people I know, that's not their thing. They wake up and they're doing the thing and they're happy to get paid and they're like, oh, but my money, I mean, my job gives me good money and I'm able to care for my kids and we've got great insurance and blah, 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 which are all amazing things. Don't get me wrong. I had that job. I worked for the state for 17 years. And what I knew is that I was grateful to have a job. I was grateful for a lot of things, but I was not excited. I did not get excited to go to work every day. As a matter of fact, I realized that every day when I came home, I was not feeling well. My throat would hurt. I would be a little, I'd have a little bit of a headache, right? I had all of these signs and symbols from my physical body. I love talking about 4 body systems: our mental body, our emotional body, our physical body, and our spiritual body. I'm an intuitive healer. I love aligning these 4 bodies. And my physical body kept telling me that this isn't what you should be doing. And one day, the husband's flipping the channels right. How many of you guys got the man flipping the channels right all day one day? Fishing, I think a tattoo show, a cooking show, all these different people were like, I can't believe I get paid to do this. I can't believe that this is my best life. Oh my gosh, you know what I mean? And each person I had all in one day, and I was like, that's my sign. I said, God, you got to tell me 3 times because I'm a hardhead. I got to know it's me you're talking to, right? So these 3 different people told me in that day, and I said, nope, this isn't me. I'm not excited to wake up. I am not excited. I am not helping. Even though I was helping people, I was a network analyst. All I did was troubleshoot, problem solve, and fix everybody's networking issues all day, every day. But that was not really what I should be doing. So let me tell you, your keys to what you should be doing are hidden in your daily life. They really are. So what does excite you? Does it excite you to cook? Does it excite you to knit? Does it excite you to help people? What I realize is I've always been teaching people. I love teaching people. I love seeing them get it, right? These are little signs. Other signs to what you should be doing are hidden in the things that you don't do, that you don't want to do, right? Some people don't like talking to people. Some people work better alone. Not everybody is meant to be out there interacting with people. These are all things, signs to help you discover how to align with your passion. Okay, so let me tell you some of the people I have helped. One of the gentlemen I helped, he had overcome a cancer that my energy worked, we did the thing. And so after he got in his physical being healthy, he started working out, he started doing the things to help his body get better, started looking better, and he loved running around in his underwear. He loved taking pictures of himself and his new body on Instagram, taking pictures and Facebook. And I was like, do what excites you because everything else will fall into place. And so he said, I want to be a fitness trainer. And I said, well, let me tell you, all those people seeing your body, in your nice body, I'm sure that they're going to say, he's got something, he's doing something right. Sure enough, not only did he end up getting countless people who wanted him to be a personal trainer, but he landed a job modeling underwear, getting paid to do it. So this is what I'm saying, you guys. It is whatever it is, whatever is excites you, somehow that's going to lead you into your desire, into your passion, into your purpose. And it's so exciting. Another lady I had, she was a mom. She was like, I don't know how I could get a babysitter. I end up paying more money than I get to go to work. So how can I do this? I love cooking. I love cooking for my family every day. Just start taking pictures. Start taking pictures of your yummy food. Say one pretty plate for you to before you know the kids tear it up, and see what happens, and just start posting it. So after a couple months, and she started getting yummies and fire emojis and all these things, right? She said, I know I want to be able to cook for other people. So guess what hits? COVID hits. So COVID hits, and she's like, how am I going to do this? I go, do you know how many people would love to still be cooked for? Because restaurants are shut down. She thrived and created an amazing business, going into people's homes, cooking for them, and they loved it. I let her cook for me, and I loved it. So let me tell you, whatever excites you, it is for you. And there is a way that it's going to work for you because God made you perfect. He made you unique. He gave you the only way to do what you want to do. So how much time do I have, girl? I don't even know. Okay, good. So I have 6 more minutes left. Yay. Okay, so now I'm so excited. I got to get going to this next part. So as we start aligning with the things, I want you to realize that your mind is going to tell you things that may or may not help, okay? Because your mental body has been given only so much information. So it can only give you information based on what you've already experienced or received. So when you're starting to do something new, you can't always trust your brain to give you good advice, you guys. Trust your feelings because your feelings are going to align you up more than what your mind is going to do. So when you start doing things that excite you, that really are exciting for you, you're going to stop. You can't stop thinking about it, right? And then you're going to go, man, the other day I was thinking about, I don't know, maybe I should go live. Really, right? Yes. So your body is exciting. Your physical body is going to tell you, not just your mental body, because your mental body has three tasks, you guys, to your ego, whatever you want to call it, to teach you, to protect you, and to motivate you. So every time you get these thoughts that saying, I don't know if you have enough support, I don't know if you can do this, I don't think you should do that. This is just your mind going, okay, this is something new. I don't recognize this feeling. I don't recognize these thoughts. These are new. I think we should stay right here in the comfort zone where nothing ever grows, right? Because nothing is ever going to grow in the comfort zone. So when you start giving yourself permission to lean into the things that excite you and to start really gauging awareness around the things that don't excite you, you are going to grow so much more quickly. And to stop using your rosy goggles to guide you into the things that you're doing, right? Because a lot of us do the things we're doing because of the things we were told, we were taught. That's why I went to the state, because my parents, my father worked for the government. So he said, this is the good job. If you want the good job, if you want the secure job, this is what you need to do. And of course, there's another. So, um, so I did what I thought I was supposed to do, right? I got married, I had the kids, I had vacation, and I still had an emptiness in me that felt unsatisfied. And so trust when there's something in you guiding you to these things. So I love doing things what I call muscle testing. And so one of the things that I use frequently for myself is I muscle test. So there's a way. I'm trying to put the phone down so I could show you this, hopefully, without tilting over. Yeah, die. Okay, let's see. Okay, so there's this thing. If you hold your hands, fingers like this, and you loop them really right, and pull as hard as you can with the truth. So now let's start. Say something true. So say my name. So my name is Tracy, really. So my name is Tracy, and pull as hard as you can. It won't break. But if I say my name is Shantae, right? It won't hold. It can't hold because your spiritual body is going to align with the truth, with your physical body. So I can ask myself all of these things. Is this something that my highest good? And I'll pull and it will either open or it won't. So even before I do interviews like these, I ask spirit or pray or create my sacred circle or do whatever I need to do so that I can get clarity. And I don't want to trust my mind because, again, my mind is going to tell me only what I've already experienced or seen. Most of what I've experienced and seen, I don't want to see or experience anymore. So I want to do something new. So this is huge, you guys. It's huge when you even start going, should I work with this person? Is this person of integrity? Is this a collaboration that serves my highest and greatest good? And then you just try and pull, and I promise, it will lead you to the right direction. But just don't overuse it, because when I first started this, then I would do, well, should I start tomorrow? Well, did I do this right? And well, so, and I kept asking the same question 50 million different ways, and then it just gets, because if you don't have clarity, it can't give you clarity because now you're just being all wishy-washy and all over the place. So these are things that I use just for myself. I love encouraging a circle of trustworthy people to give me the truth. Because if I leave it up to some of my own self, I'm not going to be guided to the truth. And the truth is that my friends tell me my energy is helpful, right? My friends tell me that how I show up in certain ways help lead me to my passion and purpose, because I was not in it. I just knew, I just prayed, please God, help me find these paths. So there's these muscle testing, but there's always writing. There's your dreams. I believe we're always getting intuitive flashes, always, from spirit creator, trying to guide us into alignment so that we can move into flow. Because I used to be in resistance. I used to feel like the salmon swimming up the stream, right? Not anymore. Now, smooth, gentle, comfortable, and harmonious. I didn't realize that my words were creating some of these things, because I used to say, well, if it has to happen, let it happen fast and hard. Well, no. Now I create new things, different things. So let me help you find your passion and purpose, because when you do, everything else comes to you, it follows, and you will be supported, because we're all here for a unique thing, a unique thing. And when you start moving into the things, getting the signs and symbols, pay attention to those little cues that are talking to you, you're going to find it. This is Trey. This has been so exciting. And I think my 13 minutes is up.
Yes, Trey, thank you for that. The last thing I heard was that muscle test, and I'm personally going to come back and watch the replay so I can make sure I'm doing the muscle test the right way. Okay, so thank you for that. And thank you for all the other amazing things that you shared with us about how we need to do things so that we understand what's going on in our own lives. So we know that you are the person that is the one that will share how we do all these things the right way. So what I want you to do is take 2 minutes. I'm going to give you 2 minutes on the clock to share with us who you are, where you're located, and what you actually have to offer. You share all of this great stuff, but how and why should we connect to you, and what do you have to offer? All right, guys, take a moment to give her a quick follow at the top. Go ahead, Trey. You have 2 minutes
Okay.
on the clock. Thank you for being here.
All right. Okay. So my 2 minutes. I want to help you heal. And how I heal is because I'm an intuitive healer. And so what I can do is energetically, I see the blocks, I see the paths, I see the things that are stopping you from really thriving in your life. And I help you get those blocks out of the way. I can be reached on any social media platform. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on obviously IG, Twitter, TikTok, on Facebook, all over. I multi-stream multiple things. Every Wednesday, I have a laugh and learn lunch, all things health and wellness to help ascend the four bodies, right? So I love helping people to gain awareness about that. I am a member of the $1 Million Mom Link Club. I love every Thursday on Clubhouse, I have a room talking about how to get into your passion and purpose, how to find alignment in life, how to discover your gifts. Guys, I am actually giving a little package right now where I'm offering not only an energy session, but two intuitive half-hour sessions where you could get clarity and get your forward motion going. So if you are interested in hitting me up with that, you guys on IG, just message me, Heal, HEAL, and you should, my little bot should send you some awesome stuff. But I have a website that I'm revamping because it is old, and I've used this software for 14 years, and now I'm all about these funnels and these new things. So coming soon will be TreyTalk.club, where we will be having all things alternative health, you guys, because I love holistic health. I love teaching about things that are not normal. It's exciting for me. And so I'm always on them clubhouse streets. I'm always in networking rooms and stuff. So I hope that helped. I will be having a new workshop I will be having coming up soon. I don't have the date landed because I'm adjusting the time. But yes, I will be giving another workshop with more clarity on how to discover your passion and purpose in life. I can't thank you enough for this, Miss Tamika. I can't thank you, Masterminds, and I am so looking forward to the rest of the amazing content that I'm going to hear from you, powerhouses. I am handing over this native talking mic.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Trey. So we are excited to have you here. Thank you for sharing all that amazing info. And what we're going to do is bring you down and bring another speaker up. And Shaniqua, I'm going to have you go up next. So you can speak next. Coach Shaniqua. Okay. All right. All right. So Trey, thank you so, so much. Thank you for bringing some great energy to the live. Before she leaves, guys, those of you who are watching and you are interested in connecting to her, there's an arrow at the top. Click it real quick. Make sure you give her a quick follow. What we do here on the Masterclass Marathon is create great connections. If you want to connect with her, what we do here is connect with her first, follow her, and then hop in the DMs and start a conversation. Say hello, ask her a question. We're all very friendly people, and we're here to connect with you. So let's get that rolling. All right, we'll give you guys a minute to make sure you're connecting with her, and then we're gonna bring Coach Shaniqua up for her presentation. So you guys are watching the Masterclass Marathon. We're here on Saturdays at 12 Eastern and Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are here to do a 13-minute segment for you. We're teaching you something. So you guys are getting a mini masterclass, okay? Now, those speakers that are here normally do their own classes. They do it by themselves. But what we decided to do here at the Masterclass Marathon is share our audiences. All four of us are on the screen. So all of our audiences are popping in. So our audience gets a chance to meet someone new today, to experience something that someone else has to offer. So we are doing the connections right here on IG Live. All right, so I'm excited for Coach Shaniqua to give us her presentation now. So I'm going to give her 13 minutes on the clock, and make sure you guys are doing that following thing if you meet someone that you want to stay connected to. All right, we're going to take Trey down and we're going to bring someone up. Coach Shaniqua, you have 13 minutes on the clock.
Awesome. First, thank you so much for the opportunity. I appreciate you. I thoroughly enjoyed the energy that Trey brought to the space. So I appreciate you so much for that as well. And I look forward to seeing you over on Clubhouse. For those of you guys who don't know me, I am Coach Shaniqua, and I'll talk a little bit more about who I am and what it is that I do a little bit later, but I really want to get through the points that I have for you guys. So I'm going to make that a priority first. So I want you guys to get a little bit active with me. It says we've got, 12 people here, I think. So I would love for you guys to come back to your phones if you've stepped away, get into the chat and let me know what your business is, right? Because what I find when working with entrepreneurs is that we start a business because we're super passionate about it, right? This is exactly what Tracy was talking about. You're super passionate about your business. You love what it is that you do. You enjoy what it is that you do. And then we go and we start a business account, right? We go and we start a business account on, we claim our digital real estate on all social media platforms and all of these things, right? And what do? We start creating content. We start creating content, right? And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but what it does is it puts this innate pressure on us, right? To constantly be creating content when we don't feel like it, when we don't have any ideas. And then we sometimes get so overwhelmed by the idea and the concept of creating content that we just get lost in this sea. And then eventually we either, sorry, my phone's about to die. We either stop because we're overwhelmed, right? We stop because we don't know what to say. We don't know what to post. We're creating reels. We're creating content. We're being consistent like everyone is telling us to do, right? Let me know if you guys have heard these things, right? We're doing everything that everyone's telling us to do, but it's not working. Everyone on Instagram is a six-figure business owner except for us. At least that's how it seems, right? Everyone's got their business on autopilot. They've got their funnels, they've got their systems, they're doing all of these things the right way, and they are winning, and we're not. That's how it feels sometimes, right? Because we're not getting the results that we want, right? We want clients. We want people on our email list. We want to be doing speaking engagements, amazing opportunities like these. Maybe some of you who are listening would love to have Tamika invite you over for an opportunity like this, right? But maybe she's not coming across your content because of how the algorithm works. Maybe she's not coming across your rooms on Clubhouse because of how the algorithm works, right? And believe me, I understand algorithms. I get it. But I would rather not leave my business in the hands of an algorithm.
Right.
And so herein lies, okay, my favorite thing in the world, and it's brand strategy, okay? Brand strategy allows you to position yourself intentionally in front of the right people instead of getting a ton of people on your content, getting a ton of people following you, getting a ton of people on your email list who are not ideal for the beautiful thing that you have to offer to the world, right? And so it feels overwhelming and it feels exhausting because it's like, well, I'm creating content. I'm doing all of these things. You said post 3 to 5 times a day. When do I post? How do I know what made this reel go viral or go trending? Do I use trending sounds? Do I not use trending sounds? When in reality, nobody really knows. Nobody can tell you how to go viral. Nobody can tell you what made one reel get 50,000 views and another one get 2 views. We're all just out here winging it. And so the way that I like to approach social media is that it is a tool. It is top of funnel of your business. It is a resource for you to be able to be in communication and in contact with your ideal audience, right? And what better way to make sure that you are positioning yourself properly than with brand strategy? Content is great, but without a strategy for that content, it's not going to do anything. And content is even beyond social media. Content is what does your website look like? Content is what does your packaging look like? Because your audiences, your customers are going to receive those packages. And it needs to be in alignment with what you're posting on social media, right? And the beautiful thing about brand strategy is that although it's not perfect, right, it's more predictable than putting out a bunch of reels and putting out a bunch of content and not knowing what the results are going to potentially be, right? And so what I do is I work with female entrepreneurs, primarily coaches and service providers, to really build out their brand and doing it in a way that feels authentic, right? Because we don't want to be putting out something and be forced to be showing our face or be forced to be creating some type of content that doesn't feel in alignment with who we are as individuals, right? So we create brands that feel authentic and brands that are profitable. Okay. I think there is sort of an unspoken kind of culture that you kind of give, and you constantly are on this giving tree, right? And you don't talk about what you offer. You don't talk about what you sell. You don't post about your products. But have you guys seen that reel where they're like, you need to post about your products so people know they exist? Yeah. I love that reel. Because you want to be talking about your products, whether directly or indirectly. And one other thing I'm going to say about brand building is that a lot of it is about relationships. We're building relationships right now. All of us spending this beautiful Sunday evening together. We're building relationships right now. I wasn't familiar with who Tracy was prior to tonight, but I know who she is now. And I'm going to get to know some of the other speakers. And I think because we start a business and we want to get transactions under our belt, we can forget about the humanization of our brand, right? So I think, Tamika, I have about 6.5 minutes left. So I'm going to share 3 points. I'm going to share 3 points with you guys of what you should do instead, okay? Number 1 is pause, okay? We are so up in arms and we're constantly on go. If you're like me and you've got a husband and you've got kids and you've got friends and family and church and all of these places that need you, it feels a little bit overwhelming, right? But take a moment to pause. Take a moment to prioritize yourself, which is a little bit of what Tracy was talking about, right? Take a little bit to prioritize yourself and figure out what your mission is in life. Not focusing on what your product is, not focusing on what your services are, but sitting down and really figuring out how you want to reshape the world. That's how deep I think about branding. All of us are changing the world in our own innate way, right? In our own fashion, we're changing and reshaping the world in our own way, all right? So pause yourself. Figure out what your life's mission is. These are going to be your core values for your life and for your brand, because your brand should be in close alignment with who you are as an individual so it feels authentic, right? And so this pause is going to allow you the opportunity to center yourself. It's going to allow you the opportunity to quiet out all of the noise and all of the pressure from everyone else to just create content, just create reels, just do this, just do that, right? And so that's number 1, pause. Figure out what that life mission is. Figure out what those core values are for you. Figure out how you are going to change the world, okay? Even if you think you can't right now, think big picture. Think no limits. Think there's no cap. You have the ability to go out and create whatever reality you want, right? Okay, that's number 1. Number 2 is humanizing your brand, okay? There's a thing called relationship marketing, and people connect with other people, all right? We've been on lockdown for almost 3 years. We are craving some human contact, and the reality is when you choose where you're going to get your coffee in the morning, walk with me for a little bit. When you choose where you're going to get your coffee in the morning, you're going to likely go to the same coffee shop on routine, not because the coffee is amazing, not because their little croissants are always perfect and evenly buttered. You're going to go because the barista is going to remember your name. You're going to go because they're going to remember your drink order. Are we having the same drink today? Would you like your same sandwich today? It becomes more personal. And when I'm talking with people and I'm having conversations with people, they're like, well, I created this course and I put it out there and I only charged, $47 for the hour because that's what they told me, but nobody bought it. Well, that's because you're trying to shove it down their throats versus figuring out what they really need and how to position yourself as a credible source for them, right? So number 2 is humanizing your brand. You want to be that go-to coffee shop. You want to be that go-to barista. You want to own the minds of your potential clients and customers. And remember that these are not transactions, but these are people, especially when you're in a service-based business. I'm talking to my coaches. Y'all are all transformational no matter what type of coach you are. If you're a service provider, like maybe you do hair or you do nails or something of that nature, a virtual assistant, okay? You're providing a service to people, right? They're not going to get something and pull it out of the mailbox. You got to be able to relate to them. You got to be able to get on their level. You got to be able to say, well, I didn't deliver this physical product, but here's what I did deliver. All right. And we want to be able to break that down in terms of relationships, but also in terms of deliverables. Okay. Number 3, I think I've got about 3 minutes left. Number 3 is to create intentional content. Okay. I know What is intentional content? What is relevant content? What is valuable content? This boils down to one thing and one thing only. It's not sounds, it's not hooks, it's not call to actions. It boils down to your audience. It boils down to who you want to be talking to, not what everyone likes, not what's trending, not what's amazing and what's working. It boils down to who you want to position yourself in front of. All right. And I'm not just talking about, oh, women, I want to empower women. I'm talking about demographics, psychographics, geographics, buying behaviors. All of these things are a part of brand strategy. And it gets you out of this sort of content loop. It gets you out of sort of this exhaustion and overwhelm of when do I post and how do I post and what do I say? Once you've identified these things, it becomes a lot easier to create content for you and that feels authentic for you, but also content that feels relevant to your target audience, right? And so I love what you're doing here, Tamika. Those are my 3 points today. I think I have about a minute and a half left, so I can start my other 2 minutes now if you'd like.
Yeah, if you want to start your 2 minutes, you really have a whole 13 minutes, and that was great. So I thank you for sharing that information with us today. And you know, this is a different platform. I know you use Clubhouse a lot, right?
Yes.
So I want to ask you a question. What is the difference in everything that you were speaking about today? What are the differences in what you said about being present on a place like Clubhouse and a place like Instagram? What are the differences?
So you mean what are the differences in like how you show up or?
Yeah, how you show up and how you share your information. Do you feel like there are any major differences?
You know, there is a difference because on Clubhouse, right, and even across other visual platforms like Instagram versus TikTok, I feel that there's a difference, right? And so I think what it comes down to is every business has a culture, right? And so Instagram has a culture, TikTok has a culture, Clubhouse has a culture, right? And so it's up to us as individuals to decide how we want to show up on those platforms. And for Clubhouse, right, that's the rooms that you go into, right? That is a representation of your brand. People you might be collaborating with on the app to host rooms with, right? You know, topics that you're talking about yourself is a reflection of your brand and how you're showing up for your audience and positioning yourself. And so those are some different things on Clubhouse that I like to pay attention to. If I'm, you know, wanting to, you know, be around someone and connect myself with someone, I'm looking at all of those things. I'm not just listening to what you're saying when you're on stage, because that's one thing. When you're on stage and you're saying one thing, you're doing it for a reason. But when you're in the back channel and you're having conversations, or when you're going into the late night rooms and they're about something a little bit different than the 9 a.m. rooms, I watch those things, and everybody else should too. So I do think that there is a difference. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, that was very helpful. And I think you probably helped a few people because it's not only, it's kind of like in the world, like where do you really hang out? So if people see that you're posting about you hanging out in these crazy places, but they wanted to connect with you, they're now connecting their image to yours and the things that you do. These are things you do, and it's going to be a reflection on you and them at some point. So you get a chance to see more about who a person really is based upon their behavior in a place like Clubhouse. Now, over here on Instagram, you can click around and click on all types of things. Nobody's going to see what you're doing. So thank you for sharing that. I'm sure that you enlighten someone to know where not to poke their head into if they don't want that following them. Okay.
Right.
Yes. But thank you so much. And you also stated that the platforms are just totally different. There's a different rhythm on each platform, and we just need to be aware of that. So thank you for sharing that great info with us today. I will now give you 2 minutes on the clock for you to share with us who you are, where you're located, and what you have to offer. Like, why are you out here sharing all of this information? How can we connect to you, and what do you have to offer? 2 minutes on the clock.
Awesome. I appreciate it. That was a really great question. So the best place to find me is right here on Instagram. So if you click on the arrow right here, you'll be able to see all of us. Just click follow, because you're going to want to follow the next speakers as well, obviously. So here is the best place to connect with me. As Coach Tamika stated, I am on Clubhouse, but for simplicity and not to overwhelm you, I'm just going to highlight my Instagram account. One of the things that I would like to kind of talk about and highlight here is that I do have a brand strategy workbook, right? And this is sort of like the beginner level of really building your brand. What I did is I took my high level one-on-one framework that I use with clients who pay over $2,500 to work with me on a VIP level, and I've broken it down into an independent step-by-step guide for people to have a DIY option. I think everyone should have access to information, because I remember a time when I could not invest like I needed to for my business or like I wanted to. So I think everyone should have some level of access to information in order to get started. So I created this as a means and as a guide for people to be able to get started, Coach Tamika. And that link is just in my Instagram bio if anyone is interested. Another thing I really pride myself on before my time is up is being a resource for people. And so maybe you're not ready to get the workbook. Maybe you're not ready to go all in and build out your brand strategy. Maybe you still don't even know what brand strategy is, and you're just not convinced that it's important at this point in your business. And so I'm open to having any conversations with people as well. If people have questions, I believe that questions help bring clarity to a lot of situations, and I'm very big on communication. So I open my DMs to all of the people on this live. If you have questions, if you have comments, if you just want to run something by me, I'm all for that, because I remember starting out not having the money to invest, but really wanting to get my passion and my purpose off the ground. I think we were all created to fulfill a purpose. And sometimes with the structured side, it can get overwhelming. So those are the places for me.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. It's crazy. The timer, listen, the timer is the timer. Oh, that's crazy, right? Whoa. Yeah. But I want to state that you said something that anyone else should pay close attention to. You said I took my high level product and broke it down into something affordable. I just want to tell you right here on live, I love that you, right? I love that you said that. And I'm gonna have to borrow that, because I mean, and that's what we do. We're here to
Yes.
be here to show up in a certain way. And if anyone is paying attention, you're not just watching, oh, I'm just gonna look. Like, does someone say something that you should kind of adapt to, use, and carry along the way with you, in your own way? But I love that, because I actually say it in the opposite direction, that I teach coaches to take the course that you're going to create and turn it. Well, actually, I do tell them to do that. Let me just be quiet. I tell them to turn the course into an ebook. Or what I was going to say was, I tell them that you can write an ebook, and then the ebook could be turned into a course. So I do say it where on a lower level, the ebook is affordable, and you can take everything in the ebook and create it as a high level course. But I just love how you said that you took the high level, because psychologically, that's it. All that $2,500 stuff is in the ebook. I think I'm gonna try the ebook.
Right.
I love it. Okay, I just had to give you some props on that before you leave. So if you want to stay for a few minutes, you definitely can. We do have, let me see, we got another speaker coming up. So hang out at least long enough. For those who are here, we want to give you guys an opportunity to make sure that you give Coach Shaniqua a follow, get connected to her. I will tag all of the speakers on the replay as well. So if any of you miss anything, you can come back and just look at the stream and look at the details in the description area. What is that called? I'm saying the wrong thing right now.
In the caption.
The caption.
Captions, okay? I will actually tag them. Another thing that you all should know is that this Masterclass Marathon is found here on my page in the series. There is a Masterclass Marathon series, and there are loads of sessions that we've done in the past. We've been doing this for several months now, on every Saturday and Sunday. So you can find them, you can watch them there on, you can binge watch. And you also could go over to my YouTube channel, which is called Entrepreneur Speak with Tamika James. And these are all found there as well. And I like to share that I do that because we all need to make sure we have prolific content. Take your content and move it around and put it in a variety of places so that you can be found. People are poking around on YouTube. You can have the same thing in all three places if you like to be found in all of those locations, okay? So that is a strategy that I use, and take it and use it. All right, thank you, Coach Shaniqua. All right, so we're gonna have our next speaker to get started. All right, we're super excited. Okay, because I care too, but that is Angel. So Angel, you are up next. We're gonna give you 13 minutes on the clock. Guys, share this live out with some friends. Get some people in here to watch this amazing information. All right.
All right, all right. Hello, beautiful people. How you doing today? I hope you are doing well. Shaniqua, that was fire, Queen. That was off the chain. You guys drop Shaniqua some love in the comments if you got something out of that. I know I did. So, hello everyone. I am Angel Conway. A little bit about me. I am a boy mom of 3 under 9 years old. So pray for me if you believe in prayer, because the struggle is real. I am a senior home caregiver by profession, and I work for 2 home care agencies. And I am entering the entrepreneurship space as your faith-based self-care consultant. And it has been a passion of mine to support other moms like myself to create those boundaries so she can make time for self-care and get back to enjoying her life again. So, what I wanted to share with you all today is touching on self-care. And so self-care has been this big thing that has been put to the forefront, especially considering what has transpired within the last several years. And I want to say it was a blessing in disguise. You know, no one likes to, you know, get to that place, you know, during the hardships. And so, nevertheless, you know, things happen, but as long as we take the situation and use it to our benefit to be better and to do better, that's what happens. And so self-care, what is it, right? A lot of people have their thoughts about what self-care is, and I want to tell you that you're right. Self-care is what it is for you, where you are at your journey of life. But essentially, self-care is taking care of you, what you do to take care of you. It is prioritizing you first, unapologetic. And so when I teach on this topic, I talk about 2 aspects. There's what you do for self-care, and it's how you self-care. And that's what we're going to be discussing here today. So how you self-care comprises of 3 elements. There are some more, but we're going to touch on these 3 elements, and that's creating those boundaries, that's being intentional and being present, and that's making sure that you prioritize. You know, we talk about you know, having that balance, having that work-life balance, or life-work balance, as I like to call it, because, you know, we don't live to work, right? We're not breaking our backs day in and day out to, you know, to bring home the dollar. You know, living this life is all about thriving and not just surviving in these streets, right? And so how we do that is making sure that we are taking that time to take care of us. And so creating those boundaries, being intentional, being present with you. These things are very key in how you essentially show up. And so with that being said, I was losing my train of thought. But with that being said, in my journey on finding myself and learning what self-care looked like for me, I came across these different methods. And so one of these methods is called the SPA method. And so one of the things that I like to say is, you know, how do you take care of you? How do you take care of yourself? How do you simplify self-care? You go to the SPA. And so SPA is an acronym for keep it simple, practical, and have accountability. And so assuming that majority of the people that's showing up here on the live are business people and entrepreneurs, I have found that these same three key elements that I use to take care of myself, I also implement in my business and how I show up. And so, as I've been on this entrepreneurship journey and just learning, the ins and outs of what to do, how to do it, this is how I simplify it for myself. And so, keep it simple. We talk about, solve one problem, with one solution, keep it very simple, right? And I found that that's very important because I am a woman of many different passions and talents. And so my mind can go all over the place. And it's just like, but I want to help with this and I want to help with that. But it's like, okay, well, what can you do for one person here and now? Let's start there. And so, I would say for those who are, starting out like myself, that is the best way to be able to show up, just solving one problem, giving one solution and taking it from there. And so moving on to the P, keep it practical. So Shanique was kind of alluding to it earlier on how, you look on social media, excuse me, you look on social media and you see people showing up like 24/7 almost. And for people like me, it's like, wait a minute, but I got 2 jobs, I got kids, I got housework, I got all these things I gotta do. Like, and you're trying to, keep up with the Joneses, and that's me being a mom really quick. You're trying to keep up with the Joneses, and it's like, no, show up in your comfort zone. People talk about get out of your comfort zone. This is where you show up in your comfort zone, because one thing that I say is, if what you're doing is causing you your health and sanity, you're not doing it right. And so you want to make sure that how you show up is true to you, true to your energy, true to how you put out your message. And so I know for me, video is not necessarily my jam. However, I could be on Clubhouse all day, every day, speaking, right? Go downstairs, honey. And so I'm like, you know what? Okay, I have found that audio, and maybe even podcasts in the future, that is my jam. That is where I feel I can show up best authentically, right? And give that good energy and not stress myself out and not overwhelm myself with, but I need to do this and I need to do that. One thing at a time. I always say, take it one emotion, take it one thought, take it one step, one day, 1 week at a time. We are in a race. And so to win this race, to be successful in what we want to do, it's slow and steady, as they say, right? And so, yeah, keep it practical, show up in the flow that naturally flows through you. And so last but certainly not least, accountability. I have been fortunate enough to find me an awesome accountability coach, Coach Tiff, shouting you out, Queen. Community is so key. Having that support to back you up, to encourage you, to motivate you, to inspire you to reach your goals is so crucial, but there's also that internal support that we need for ourselves, right? Because at the end of the day, we're the ones that got to do the work, and we're the one that's got to show up, right? And so some of the things that I speak about as far as creating that accountability is, one, again, finding that community, finding you an accountability coach, finding you someone that's going to say, hey, these are my goals. This is how I need your support. And they're there to say, you know what? I got you to be that reminder, that encourager, that motivator, that inspiration. And then you want to make sure that you're doing that work for yourself by creating those alarms, setting those timers, time blocking, letting people know my office hours are, you know, we can't just be out here, you know, giving up all of us, right? And so we need to keep some for ourselves so that we can show up the best we can for others. And so, yeah, again, setting those alarms, those timers, time blocking is very crucial in creating that accountability for yourself, because what's not scheduled for me don't get done. Like, I have timers going off all throughout the day. Even, you know, when it comes down to making sure that I get something to eat and that I hydrate, which we are going to go into in a few here. But that is my spa method, and how I have created that flow, how I've created a system for myself to be able to show up authentically, to be able to show up where I'm not overwhelming myself and not stressing myself out. Because we have to take care of our bodies. You know, we only have this one life to live, you know, and it's important that we, in all that we're doing for others, that we're doing for ourselves first. You know, we have to be our first caregiver. And so with that being said, I would like to talk to you guys about my her time. And so her time is HERR, and that stands for hydrate, eat, exercise, rest, and reflect. And over in my Facebook community, I encourage the women to do this on a daily basis, because again, we can just get so caught up in the hustle bustle of, you know, gotta get the kids ready for school, gotta go grocery shopping, gotta do the laundry, gotta this, gotta go to the 9 to 5, you know, all these things, gotta do business stuff, that, you know, we can look up and be like, dang, I didn't drink nothing today. I didn't eat. I didn't do my exercises. I didn't do, you know. And so that's just a, you know, a cute, fun reminder to say, you know what, let me pause. Like what Shanique was saying, let me pause and step back and take some time for me, because I matter. I'm important. And, you know, it's important that we know that doing things for others is not a prerequisite to do for ourselves. And especially us moms. I don't know if y'all, you know, resonate with me or not, but, you know, we can get in our minds so much so that it's like, but I got to do this and this and this and this and this and that. But it's like, they're going to be here. You know, you have to take care of you. You know, and so it's very important that we understand that we have value, that we deserve to take care of us. So, oh boy. So her time, HERR, make sure you're taking that time for yourself. You know, as we're doing all the things, you know, don't forget to do those simple things to take care of you.
All right. Thank you so much, Angel, for sharing all of that info with us today. It's crazy that I hear so many people speaking about self-care after becoming a mom. It's like, I don't know, like, did it like not exist when you were just running around here as a woman or a man running around? Like, what, I don't know, you know?
Girl, listen, I don't know what it is. You know, no, I know what it is. I know exactly what it is, because I've seen generations of women in my family, you know, take on that mentality of, I gotta do for others and put me on the back burner. Like, that's what it is. However, I am breaking that cycle. I'm on the line, honey. I am breaking all that, because my mom is 57 years old. And she did her best. This makes me emotional. She did her best to take care of us. But I'm seeing how that has negatively affected her at 57 years old. And my dad, he passed at 47 years old. So I have made a vow to not let my family or my children be an excuse to why I'm not taking care of myself, and be an example for them, to show them you matter, you know, like.
Take your time, love.
So yeah, especially I have boys, you know, and I grew up seeing my dad, you know, work his fingers to the bone. You know, this man stayed working for us and providing for us, but spent little time taking care of himself. And so, you know, I want to teach my boys that, you know, being strong doesn't mean not taking care of yourself. You know, you can have your cake and eat it too. You know, like this is not. You can have your cake and eat it too.
Angel, can I ask you, have you told that part of the story often? What you just told us? No? Yes or no?
No.
I don't know what anyone else is thinking, but I would love if you would be able to find a way to interject that part into the story that you tell us as to why you're doing what you're doing. Because even as a coach, a part of my presentation is to talk about that we're helping from a position of where there was something that we overcame, something that evoked some emotions to give us the energy to help other people in this space. And I just love that, you know, you were talking, I don't know, something made me say that we are just not doing this self-care thing as much until we get into this parental mode. And the crazy thing is, if we can, and you can help women to take care of themselves a little bit more before they become that parent, they can be a much stronger parent. That might be the message. I ain't come to preach here to you. It's just that
Listen.
I heard it, I saw it, and it was the space where that's the reason why you're doing what you're doing. Because your mom was there the whole time before dad, you know, and then dad passed away in the midst of all of this, and then she's still trying to do all of this stuff in his absence. Like, I heard it all, but that's why we need to know why you do what you do, you know? So yeah. You know, so yeah, please share that a little bit more. That's right. Talisha, the actual reason why you're here doing what you're doing, we need to know. So thank you for sharing that, and thank you for not turning the camera off and running away, because you know you are a human being. And even Coach Shanika was talking about the human impact, the human part, humanizing everything that we do. That's why people connect, because and somebody's gonna have exactly your same story. You know that, right? It's crazy. Someone's going to have a mom that was the mom, and the dad passed away, and then the mom was blah, blah, blah. Okay, listen, I'm not going to keep going because we're here in the mass. I just had to share all of that, but thank you so much for sharing with us. And yeah, so thank you. I hope someone was impacted. And you actually have, what did you have to offer? Her is a what?
Yeah.
It's a what?
I'm sorry.
What is her?
So her is HERR. Hydrate, eat, exercise, rest, and reflect.
Okay. Is that a product that someone can order, purchase from you?
Oh, so no, that's just a simple, you know, cute little reminder of, you know, to take care of yourself throughout the week as you're, you know, hustling, bustling. However, so that spa method that I was sharing with you all about how to show up in your business. So I take that same method and simplify the process of how to make time for yourself, how to take care of yourself. And so I created a guide to create a self-care regimen. And I am offering that. You can find the link to that in my Instagram bio. And it's really about, saying, listen, I'm sick and tired. I am ready to start taking care of me. And so what's the first step? Let's get this thing together out of your mind, because we say it all day long. I got to do this. I got to make time for myself, but we don't, put action behind that. And so I'm going to take you through the SPA method framework to help you put action behind that, create this self-care regimen schedule for yourself, and also offer 1 month support of accountability, because we need that extra push, inspiration, encouragement, motivation sometimes for us to, reach our goals. And so, yeah.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Angel, for sharing with us today.
Thank you.
All right, so guys, make sure you give her a quick follow by clicking the arrow at the top. Hop in the DMs with her. She also said that you can find that item on the link in her bio. All right, so thank you, Angel. We're supposed to have another speaker, so if they are not here, you can hang out if you'd like. And I'm going to see if they're still coming. But we do have Janice Coleman. Janice Coleman is next. Janice Coleman, we're excited to have you speak today. So if you are ready, I'm going to give you 13 minutes on the clock. And everyone, you guys are watching the Masterclass Marathon. Give us bring a few more people in here. Click the arrow and share. If you've already shared, share with some other people that you haven't clicked on as of yet. You can still share even though you shared a little earlier. Let's get some more people to come in and hear what Janice Coleman has to say. And we're excited to hear her speak. She's been here before. This is her actually her second time speaking, I think. Second time. All right, welcome back. You now have the floor. 13 minutes on the clock.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. I'm trying to set this so that I don't set the neighborhood on fire here. But I want to make sure you can hear me, that I can hear. Well, you have to hear me more than I have to hear you right now. Tamika, thank you, first of all, for welcoming me back, which is always a good sign, right? That she actually welcomed you back. So that's a good sign. Thank you so much, my love. And I appreciate your heart for expanding everyone's reach and everyone's network to help people. And so I greatly appreciate that. Angel, Shaniqua, and Trey, amazing. And it's so interesting that I feel like all of this is coming together, what it is we're talking about. And I'm just going to share a little bit about what I have. One of the things that the Lord had me birth into the earth. Sometimes you feel like you're not moving forward in certain things. And God was like, Janice, until you birth this book into the earth, I'm not going to give you another thing. Just that's it. Because sometimes you have to archive, you have to share what is inside of you. Why give you something else when you have not leveraged what it is He already gave you? Right? And so I have been in the career coaching, training, and education space for over 20 years. Actually, it'll be 23 years next week, because I mark it by how old my youngest son is. He's 23. And so it's been 23 years. And so what I'm going to do is focus primarily on the career coaching space, even though I'm a trainer and a speaker and, a lot of different things. But I want to focus on the career coaching space because I'm in the process of building that vertical of my business up. And so that's what I'm going to focus on. So the work that God gave me to do, to put into the earth, is called 26 Doses of Career Triage. And of course, the book is turned backwards, but it's 26 Doses of Career Triage. And so as a career coach over these years, when I've worked with people, and I work with people from the classroom to the boardroom with regard to helping them to find fulfillment in the marketplace by finding the career that they love, whether it is in a professional or it's a business person who's just trying to find, sort of like what Shaniqua said, that brand aspect of who they are. But over these years, what I found with almost every client that I engaged was like I was treating them like they were in the ER. And how many of us have been in the ER, right? You go in, they ask you questions, because what they're doing is trying to identify where it hurts, how much it hurts, and what they need to prioritize to take care of to get you to a level of stability so they can then take you to health, right? And that's the same thing that I do with my career coaching. And when I'm talking to even business owners or people who are in a career, in a full-time job, that are seeking to go into business. And what I basically do is talk to them about what's going on, what's happening. And then I will prioritize the situation and then help them to step through what they need to do to get to that healthier career. And so that's why I call it career triage. So if you feel like your career is in the ER and you're trying to keep it from going to the morgue, you need career triage. And so what I did was birthed out this book 2019 called The 26 Doses of Career Triage. And so, of course, I don't have time to give you all 26 doses because that would be an overdose in this short period of time. But what I'm going to do is I pulled out, interestingly enough, I pulled out 3 of the 26 doses that I feel would have been appropriate. And as I'm listening to what everybody else has shared, it's right in line with what everybody else has shared. Now, I'll share with you that this book is really designed for 3 different types of professionals. The person who may be new into the workplace, whether they're, 3 years in or even in college. And I've even worked with high school students putting their first resume together. So it's that person. Or it's the person who is in a career and they're happy, but they need to still grow. Or is that person who's like, kill me now. Like, oh, I don't want to go to work. Like Trey said, like, oh my God, it's Sunday night. Do you know that most people that the most heart attacks and acute heart arrest happen on Monday morning because people just hate going to work? So, that is one of the highest rates of heart attacks in the country. And so a lot of people don't like their job. So those 3 types of people are the ones that can use this, which it covers everybody. But because it's a prescription, the prescription is different depending upon where you fall, if that makes sense. So I have 3 different treatments that I outline, very short, because it just tells you how to use the book. And then the 26 doses is easy. It's from A to Z. So every one of the doses starts with the letter of the alphabet, A, B, C, D. And, you can go through this book very easily and then go back and use it as a treatment to help to get your career to health. So I wanted to share 3, 2 in particular, 1 really in depth, 2 kind of like, you have to have A as the attitude, right? A has to be attitude. Any self-respecting self-help book has to have attitude as a part of it, right? So the first dose is attitude. That as a person developing a career and managing a career and elevating a career, you have to have your attitude in the right place. That just goes without saying. Your attitude determines your altitude. And so attitude is really a nautical term, and it means the direction of the ship. So our attitude really does determine our altitude. It's the direction of the ship. What's the direction? What's the attitude of the ship? North by northwest, south by southwest. That's the attitude. What's our attitude? Because however we think, that's how we're going to operate. So if we have a positive attitude, we are learning certain things and how to be in alignment with ourselves and where we work, it's going to be the better for us versus, nobody knows the trouble I've seen. And, I'm climbing up the rough side of the mountain. There's only rough sides of the mountain. I've never heard of soft sides of the mountain or smooth sides, but, I'm just working with the song, right? But attitude is the first dose. And with each dose, I give a quote because I want people to really feel what I'm trying to say. So attitude is the first dose. Then dose number 19, which is where all of what we've been talking about really does rest, which is about success. Dose number 19 is S, success, and this is actually my own personal quote in the book. Success is doing what you've been designed to do and doing it well. And in this success chapter, I give an example of what it means to do what you've been designed to do. And I use the understanding of how we use a doorstop. And I know that everybody on here at some day, time, or whatever have used a doorstop. But there are other things that we've used to keep doors open. And that might be, somebody holding the door or a chair. Or we might have, and if you want to put in the chat, what have you actually used to hold the door open? This is G-rated, so whatever you have used to hold the door open, you've used a chair, you've used a trash can, right? You used a rock to hold the door open. We use all kinds of stuff to hold the door open, but the doorstop has been designed specifically to hold a door open. So it's crafted just so, not too much material, just enough material to push right up under that door to keep it open. That's success. Anything else holding a door open is abnormal use, otherwise known as abuse. So success is doing what we've been designed to do. So that's why all of this conversation we're having is so important, because the question becomes, what have we been designed to do? Find that and do that. Don't worry about anybody else's lane, but you be the doorstop you've been designed to be. And that's the S, that's the 19, dose 19. That's why I said a few doses of career triage tonight. And then dose number 22, which is value. And the quote I have here is, my goal, and this is Michelle Obama, my goal has always been to add value, not to be redundant, not to get in the way, but to do things that lift and move things forward in a very strategic and objective way so that there are real outcomes. So what is our value? So you can see, as a person who is developing, managing, or recreating a career, how understanding what value is all about and focusing on that value. And I actually give little exercises in the back as well of each chapter. Focusing on that value is so very important. Focusing on what is success. Who am I in the marketplace? What should I be doing? How can I leverage my value? How can I leverage my attitude to be the absolute best? And the subtitle of the book is A Little Medicine to Help Revive Your Career. So regardless to where you find yourself in the game of being in a career, if you are working a full-time job, even if you are seeking to start a business and a part-time job, if you are checking into a 9 to 5 or 8 to faint, right? An 8 to faint, you need to look at and manage your career, because your career is one of your biggest assets. Being able to generate income and revenue is one of your biggest assets. And how often do we not think about our career? We go to college, if we do go to college, and we pick a major, and then we and it takes us that long to pick a major, and we go through 4 years, and then we go out and we do what we do in that space. We take less time to to focus on our career than we do to plan a vacation. We will take months to plan a 1-week vacation, and we take a 1 week and plan a lifetime. That just seems to be a little backwards to me. I'm just saying. So with a book like this, as we think about, thinking ahead, what it is that's going to happen, especially, during these times when we don't know if it's an upswing, a downturn, an uptick, or whatever is going on, a recession, depression, a revival, whatever it is, we have to be so very ready, because our career, our ability to generate revenue is one of our biggest assets. So that's my masterclass for today, Coach Tamika.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. When you said that what you were going to speak about was in unison with what everyone else said, it was so true. Like, it was almost as if we knew what everyone was going to speak about,
Right.
and everyone added on to what someone else was saying,
Right.
and kind of brought it home. Like, that was so crazy, because it was super
Right.
true. And I want to touch on some things that you spoke about, because I'm going to talk about that when I speak. But what are we designed to do? Like, it was the consistent message the whole time. What are we designed to do, and how are we doing it? And how do we understand what we're really meant to do? Like, beautiful message. So you were reading from that book, but you have something that's coming out too.
I do. There's a lot of different things happening within the context of JCC and Janice Coleman right now. Yes.
Yeah. I would love for you to bring that home, because I love how you shared from another book, and it's beautiful that you were an author, a supporting author in that book. But tell me about what you have coming up, because everything you share is leading us to know where else you want to take us. I want you to take us there. Where is that?
Okay. So I'll bring it home. If you look, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much. If you look in my link tree, which is in my bio, you'll see quite a few things that just fall in line. You will be able to purchase the 26 doses of Career Triage. That book is there. The newest book that we just released is entitled Pivot: Thriving in Times of Change, which is an anthology. I have 11 other authors who collaborated with me on this book, and it's just about, we pivoted. We've been pivoting forever. 2020 wasn't the beginning of pivoting. I've been on the planet for a while. I've been pivoting for a while. So there are 2 books that I have there. I also have a webinar that is being held on the 27th of August, which is how to stabilize your career in an unstable marketplace. So that link is in the link tree as well. And then I have a free resource, which is my top 10 YouTube channels that have helped me to kind of get my head together and help me to move forward. So there are 10 content providers that are absolutely amazing, and that resource is absolutely free, and you can find that in my link tree as well. And then, of course, I do coaching. So if you are looking to stabilize your career and you need some work, or you just want to talk about what I might be able to help you with outside of this webinar that's coming up in, in 10 to 12 days, I have a 30-minute free consultation link that you can use to schedule. You can look at my schedule and see when we can get together. So all of those things are out there available, and I just welcome anyone who wants to connect with me. I see some people, thank you for following me, and it's just an amazing time. And I'm ready to help people, because yes, it is unstable, but we can be stable. We can be like a duck. Ducks are on the water looking like they gliding with no problem, and their feet are under the water like that, right? You don't have to let people see you sweat. So I'm going to teach you how to get that career stable, even in the midst of everything that's going on. So that's all things career. Resumes, interviews, negotiations, job search strategies, all things career. So, connect with me. Shoot me a DM.
Awesome. So Janice, I don't desire to have a career, but if I did, I would pick you to help me. If
Thank
I
you.
did,
I
if
appreciate
I
it.
did, because I love how you broke everything down, and like Mimi was saying on the screen, like we really just don't stop to take a lot. Not enough people stop to take a look at really where you are and what it is that you're aiming to do. Like giving enough thought to, like she said, enough thought to your career and researching things properly. So you just really,
Right.
like I think earlier, Coach Shaniqua was talking about the pause, and that's why all of this was like so cohesive. The pause,
Yes.
like you were saying the same thing. We need to do the pause so that you can determine what's happening next and make sense out of every single step that we're taking. And it was just a beautiful presentation. So I
Thank
hope
you.
that you do come back to the live and record the screen. We're going to put this up on YouTube. That'll be the cleaner version where you can, well, you won't have words on or over the top of your face. But if you want to
Yes.
go over there and screen record your segment, yeah. And then that way you can use it, because great presentation that you can use at some other point on your social media, like in your stories or even on
Thank
a
you.
post. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, my dear. I greatly appreciate you. And this has been an amazing opportunity. I'm waiting to hear the other presenters. Everybody has been fire. So thank you again.
Yes, thank you. And you can hang out if you like. It's up to you if you want to stay on the screen or leave. We have one more person that was supposed to be here. I don't know if they're going to be able I don't know if they're going to be able to come back or not. So it's up to you. And whenever you're ready to close out, you can. So, all right. Thank you again. That was amazing. All right. Give Janice Coleman a quick follow. Arrow at the top, guys. And if you want to talk to her, she said contact her in the DMs. All right. So next up, we have Mimi. Mimi Sheffer, are you ready to do your presentation?
I am. I am. Hello. It's been a great night. Oh my gosh. I have been taking notes. I've got a whole page of scribbled notes, really tiny so I could fit it all on one page. So many good presenters and so much good information. So thank you for letting me be here. I am ready to go.
It feels like I should just reset real quick because it's been a little
Okay.
while. Yeah. So you guys
It has.
are watching the Masterclass Marathon. This happens on Saturdays at 12 p.m. Eastern and Sundays at 7 p.m. If you would like to be a speaker, you can go to masterclassmarathon.com to register yourself to become one of the speakers. The speakers here are entrepreneurs who have something to teach you about what they do. They have 13 minutes to share their message, and then 2 minutes to tell you exactly who they are, where they're located, and what it is that they actually have to offer. This is a platform where we're sharing our audience, and we are literally here sharing our message instead of doing it privately. So that's what this is all about. It happens every single week. So without further ado, I'm going to give the microphone over to Mimi for her 13 minutes. There you go.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mimi Sheffer, and as I mentioned, I love being here with Coach Tamika. There's so much good information shared every single masterclass marathon. So thank you again, Coach Tamika, for letting me be here. I'm going to talk to you today about video. So important, right? We know that showing up on video really increases our metrics on social media, but it's intimidating. A lot of people are shy enough about showing photographs of themselves, much less going live on video. So the strategy I'm going to share with you tonight is one that Coach Tamika and I talked about the other night on Clubhouse. And she's like, wait, I need you to share that because that was so good. So I want to just talk a little bit about video and where we can go to share videos, and how we can do it strategically and how we can do it and make it really count. And this ties into something that Janice was talking about. You have to have attitude. You have to show up on video and look confident and calm. So I have a secret strategy that I'm going to share with you on how to make that possible, because so many of us see ourselves on video and we get all nervous and wonky and it ruins our credibility, right? And then I have a friend who showed up on video and did not like the way she showed up, and she's never been able to do it again. It's been a couple of years and she just cannot bring herself to do it. So I don't want anybody else to suffer like that. I don't want anyone else else to be hedged in by their inability to show up well and confidently. So you have to have attitude. So I'm going to give you a secret strategy to show up with attitude tonight. So first of all, we know that video is really powerful. So I want to talk to you about the places that you can go to show up on video. Number one, go live in your stories. If you're a little tentative about getting started and showing up on video, you can go live in your stories. And that is a simple matter of, they're 15-second clips, right? So it does not have to be anything too in-depth. Give a snapshot of your day. Talk about your products. Talk about your services. Talk about the niche that you serve. So that is a great way to start building your confidence level by going live in your stories. And those only live for 24 hours. So if it flops, it's not a big deal. You can always delete it if you need to, but I would encourage you to go live often in your stories to build your confidence and start gaining that momentum. The stories section of your social media profile is like the behind the scenes. It's your real life. Your feed on most platforms is a more curated section, right? With more thought, more planning, but your live, your stories is more about what's happening behind the scenes. And people love that because they want to connect with you. They want to know what's really going on in your life and see who you are when you're not being, so careful and curated. So go live in your stories often, and it doesn't have to be for a long time. Secondly, you should be doing collaborations, right? So go live. You can interview people if you are a little intimidated about going live and offering tips or information to your audience, to your niche. You can offer collaborations or interviews. That's a great way to get started and get comfortable going live. And then you should start going live once a week. Coach Tamika does that. She goes live and offers Q&As, ask me anything, one-on-one sessions, bring people up and they can ask questions. So I encourage you to get started in a live presentation once a week. Make it a regular thing so you don't back out, so you don't get nervous and say, oh, I'm not going to do it today. Make it a regular, consistent platform on your social media profile so that you can get more comfortable being live and so that you can connect with your people and offer them value, because we are not here to sell, we are here to serve. And when you approach your social media with the tenet of serving first, then the sales will come, right? But if you are able to show up and serve and worry more about them and less about you and how you look and your hair's not right, your makeup isn't on point, whatever, those things don't matter. When you show up with servant leadership, when you live to serve and not live to sell, then you're going to make the sales because people are going to connect with you. So, how to do it well. I've got a script I want to share with you, and I also have my super secret strategy that I want to talk to you about. So, have you ever seen, drop in the chat if you've ever seen someone going live on video and you see them like looking at themselves, they're messing with their hair, you can tell they can see themselves in the camera and they're all nervous. They're looking at, whatever, their hair, their makeup, and they realize that they don't look the way they thought they would, right? And so they start to get self-conscious, and that erodes their confidence, and you can see them kind of pulling back and pulling into themselves. So in order to avoid those self-conscious cues that you're getting when you're live on video, I encourage you not to look at yourself, but to look just at the camera and pretend like it's your very best friend and you're talking to her on FaceTime or talking to him on FaceTime. You aren't in front of a whole crowd of people. You are talking to one person, and that person, you know who they are, you know what they need, you know that you have something that can help them, and you know exactly what their pain points are. So you're talking to them and helping them. But here is the super secret strategy. I want you to take all the points that you want to share in your live video and write them down on a Post-it note. Okay, so here's the formula that you're going to use. Here's the script. You're going to ask a question first. So open your live, and live should be no more than really 7 minutes, unless you're doing a class like this or an interview. We're talking 2 to 5 to 7 minutes, right? Because people have very short attention spans. So here's the script for your live. When you are ready to work up to offering tips and help and service to people. So you're going to open with a question. Do you struggle with blank? Are you having trouble with blank? Are you looking for help with blank? Okay, so you open with a question, and that question is something that you can offer them, a solution that you can offer them, advice that you can offer them. So that's the first step in Alive. The second step is to reiterate that. If you struggle with blank, I'm going to share 3 tips to help you overcome blank, right? So then you're offering them a question, a hook. You're offering them the solution and telling them how many tips you're going to share. So they're tuning in and they're getting connected and they're getting emotionally invested in your live. Then you're going to say your introduction. Hi, I'm so-and-so. I have done blah, blah, blah for so long, and I'm going to share with you my top 3 tips to overcome whatever. And that is your elevator speech. It should be super, super short because, again, this is about serving them. You can always follow up later with a little bit more about you. Then you're going to offer your tips. And here's where this Post-it note comes in handy. You offer no more than 3 tips at a live because really and truly people have short attention spans. Unless they are taking notes, it's going to be difficult for them to remember what it is you are saying and offering. So state a tip, explain the tip, and then offer a story or an example. That's it. Tip, explanation, story or example, and then move on to the next tip. And you are going to close with a call to action. For more information or to connect with me, here's the group I serve, and here are the things that I offer. To connect with me, click the link in my bio. You can talk about a product you offer, a digital product you offer, a freebie that you offer. That's when you can expand a little bit more, but offer something to them, some breadcrumb, right? Lead them to the next step with you, and then close. Make sure you include a call to action. So many people get on a live and they get so nervous that they forget to leave that breadcrumb to offer someone, the viewers, the next step, to tell them what to do next. And you always have to be pointing them to that next step. So here's the super secret strategy, you guys. You put this Post-it note over the camera so you cannot see yourself, over the phone so you cannot see yourself. All you are able to see is the camera. And you're looking at the camera and you are talking as though you're talking to your best friend or a new client, and you're one-on-one, and you don't have to worry about all those other people, and you don't have to see yourself and get nervous because you're looking at yourself and you're like, oh my gosh, I thought my hair looked better, my makeup is off, whatever. You don't get nervous because it's not about you. And you don't erode the importance and the power of your message by being self-conscious, because you're showing up to serve. You're not showing up to sell them on how great you are. You're showing up to serve. So when you can do that without worrying about who you are and what you look like, then you're able to really connect with your ideal client and offer them the tips and strategies they need to take that next step with you. So that is my super secret strategy and my script for going live. And you guys, so many people are nervous about doing it, but here is what I want to share with you. You are not going to knock it out of the park on your first try, right? It takes practice, it takes consistency, and it takes persisting until. So do it until you feel comfortable. And I promise you, you're going to be able to create relationships and generate more leads and sales when you get on video than if you showed up in pictures or if you only have static posts. Being on video is going to magnify your business, and it also helps you magnify your message. It helps you connect to your ideal client, and it helps you reach them more effectively because, here's the important part, the algorithm loves it when you go live. No matter what platform you're on, if you are going live and using your own voice and sharing information with people, you are going to be bumped up in the algorithm. And so it's super, super important to grow your business, to be able to show up on video. And I hope these strategies and these tips helped you gain some confidence that you too can do it. But don't worry about being perfect. Perfect is not attainable for any one of us. And if you wait until your presentation is perfect, I promise you, you will never end up going live. So do it and don't worry about it. Get out in front of it. Just show up. Start with the story lives and then build on that. And I promise you, before you know it, you'll have the confidence to go live anytime, no matter what you look like, and share what it is you have to offer. So that's my tip for tonight.
Mimi, that was amazing as usual. Oh my goodness.
Hey,
Thank you for coming back consistently. And oh my
you're
gosh, okay, so
welcome.
I was taking notes too. And one of the things that you said at the latter part of your message was video magnifies your message. Oh my goodness. Like, you gave us some strategies tonight, several strategies to be able to get into the stories. Like, you gave us that beginning part, and then you gave us the actual live part. Like, that was really, it was like just amazing. And for someone to hear that video magnifies your message, if anyone did write that down, I hope that you did. That is the thing you need to know. When you're being shy about doing it, it magnifies your message. So like, Mimi, you broke that down and you said it in just a few words to help everyone to know why it's super important to do it. Because sometimes we actually get up here and we share what to do, but if people don't really know why, like, it magnifies your message. Oh my goodness, that was, yeah, so powerful. So yeah.
And those stories are like your behind the scenes. We want to know what happens in people's real lives, right? How they are juggling kids and career and all of those things. So use that as, like, you know, a behind the scenes, peek behind the corner, peek behind the curtain, look at your life. And really, you can be uncurated there. You can be messy bun, no makeup, real life. And I think, I mean, obviously in context, if you are offering six-figure services to clients, as Talisha mentioned recently on Clubhouse, then obviously you don't want to show up in messy bun. But you can also use that to your advantage. You can say, gosh, I've been so busy today working for my clients, offering solutions. I haven't had a chance to do my hair. It's been crazy busy and I'm so excited. So you can frame it in a way that shows that you are doing really important work, and that is a better postcard or billboard than telling people how great you are and what you have to offer, right? Just talking about how you're serving other clients really edifies you, and increases your credibility. And all of this is about making sure that people know you are here to serve them and that you have something that is really valuable to offer, and it can help them advance in their careers or their businesses. So all about service.
Well said, well said. And I love also when you said earlier about showing up serving and making people know why you're here and that you actually want to legitimately help. Because people, you know, money is everywhere. Money is all over the place, and people choose to put the money down where they want. But someone said earlier too, it's all about people connecting to you. Like, there could be 3 people in the room that are offering exactly the same thing. But as you were just saying, in the BTS behind the scenes, how often do people see that you're really operating in your zone of genius? How often do they see that you're actually a real person, that you're a person that they want to connect to? Like, they need to see all of these different aspects, especially for small business. Now, when we get into, you know, large business and you're making millions of dollars, the things that we're talking about, they don't matter as much. Let's be honest. They just
That's
don't.
true. That's so true.
They just don't. So listen, if you don't want to have to do these things, hurry up and get to your millions, okay, with an S, not the 1 million. Because nowadays, $1 million is not a whole lot of money. Let's be honest. It's not a lot of money.
It's 5, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
5 is like the threshold that you've made it, right? Yeah,
Exactly. You want to get to the 5. So listen, if you don't want to do the things that we're here, genuinely speaking about, then get there fast, and you won't have to do it. Someone else will do it. You'll actually have about 20 people doing it for you, and you won't have to do it. They'll follow you with the camera all the time, and they'll do all the things. And even still with that, right now, we still can actually do that. So I'm making jokes right now, but I've had cameras follow me. So I go to different places, and I literally say, and Alexander Rapiture is a videographer. He actually did some work for me when I was in Atlanta. I actually did a conference, and I said, hey, I want you to come in and shoot the BTS. I want you to shoot what's going on. He came in, he shot, he made me some commercials. So we really want to
Mhm.
make sure that we're using multiple ways and multiple strategies to get all of this stuff done. So even though I made a joke
Mhm.
about it, you don't have to be a millionaire to get someone to follow you with the camera. Let me share real quick. You can get
Mhm.
someone for 2 hours and get enough footage
Mhm.
that it looks like the cameraman was there with you for days. Okay, like
Mhm.
I think I'm gonna talk about that on a different occasion. But anyway, Mimi, I would love to give you an opportunity for everyone to get to know exactly who you are, where you're located, and what it is that you actually have to offer after you've shared all of those great pieces of information. 2 minutes on the clock.
Alrighty, my name is Mimi Sheffer. I'm a social media coach for mompreneurs, and my specialties are visibility and branding. So I help moms show up online and build businesses around their families, whether they're from working from the kitchen counter or the car line. And I give them the strategies to hack the algorithm and increase their organic reach, or show up and be consistent across their platforms and offer branding strategies. So something I've noticed with a lot of people, they aren't quite sure where they fit in. They aren't quite sure who they serve or what their detailed plan is. So I offer strategies so that you can work less and live more, because we're showing up on social media. We're monetizing our social media. You have to do that strategically in order to make that work. So that's what I offer moms, is strategy to increase their organic reach, to show up consistently, and to show up and generate more sales and more leads and more sales. So those are the things that I offer. I serve mompreneurs, whether they're aspiring or established. And a couple of these services that I offer, I have a freebie. It's in the link in my bio. It's my stand store. It's a social media timing guide. It is important for you to post right before or right at the most popular times on each platform. So grab that social media timing guide to find out when the best time to post on each platform is. That really helps work the algorithm and increase your organic reach. A couple of other things I offer. I have a brand new ebook. It's called Visibility Strategies, and it's the 3 keys to increasing your reach and your visibility on any social media platform. So that is also available in my bio, in the link in my bio. I offer social media graphics, so a quick and easy way for you to increase your marketing strategy, your social media marketing strategy, is to use graphics that you can quickly and easily brand for yourself instead of grabbing graphics for somebody else. And I offer social media audits for people to understand the small gaps and tweaks they need to make in their strategy to really create a cohesive, powerful brand for themselves. So all of that's available in my bio.
Thank you, Mimi. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So, Mimi was zipping through sharing all of the things that she has to offer. You guys will have a chance to come back and watch this replay. So if you miss anything, and she was speaking very fast to make sure she gets through the timer, you can come right back and you can just slowly listen, fast forward, rewind as much as you want to see all the things that she has to offer, because she has quite a few things that are great for you to be able to support your business and to show up the right way. So all of the speakers today have been here sharing tips and strategies and just giving you information about the ropes, just showing you what to do for their respective businesses. They've all shared with you what it is that they have to offer. Take the time to come back and watch the live and just listen to what they had to offer. Now, it's not over. It's not over, because I am going to do my presentation next. All right. What did you say? Amazing that you shared a brand piece as well. People need that. Absolutely. So the speakers that were here do quite a few things, just so you guys know. And the crazy thing is that even while we're here, we're still not able to tell you all the things that we offer. We're just not. Even as much as Mimi just said, I know there are more things that even she offers. So I want you to make sure that you're following all of the speakers, that you're getting in touch with them, and you're going over to their Instagrams, to their websites, and just checking out what is offered. If anyone resonated with you, you just want to get a little closer. The reason why we're doing this is for exposure of all of us who are in business, who have been doing our own things. And collaborations and connections are amazing. Even if you only come here and you got 5 or 10 or 20 new followers, that is worth being here, because when we're here, The people that watch this are all entrepreneurs. The people that join are entrepreneurs, and we're all just looking to connect on some level. All types of things happen from this actual experience of being on the Masterclass Marathon. So without further ado, share this live out. Tell some more people to come and watch Coach Tamika speak. Share the live, please, please, please. All right, let me get my timer on the clock so that I can share some info tonight. All right, here we go, here we go. So lovely folks, I'm Coach Tamika James. I'm a life and business coach. I am actually a cosmetologist turned life and business coach. I was in the beauty industry for 20-something years. Everything that I did when I was over there, I'm using here. I was behind the chair, I was servicing clients, but literally the clients that were in my chair were mostly clients who, some people had 9-to-5s, but some people were corporate, but most of them wanted to do something else. And we had these amazing conversations, and I literally was coaching for free. People sitting in my chair coming back every week, me helping them to grow and to build and grow their businesses. So I share from the perspective of how to start the business. I share from the perspective of how to show up so that people will see the business that they actually created. So I share social media strategies. I share trade show strategies because I've done multiple trade shows over the years. Literally, I would do a trade show probably about 2 to 4 times a month in some cases, okay? And then I created my own trade show. So I have experience in a lot of different ways. I also did products that I ended up getting products from manufactured in other countries. So my level of expertise in business is pretty extensive for a lot of different reasons. I've also done a lot of digital products, and I'm only sharing this information with you right now because I want you to know that I know that someone who's watching me right now needs a change of career or wants to do something in addition to what you've been doing. And I only shared my story. No bragging rights right here. I wanted you to know that the cosmetologist that I was a multifaceted cosmetologist. So wherever you are in life and in business right now, you can do more than one thing at a time. You just need to make sure that you have the time and space to develop whatever it is that you want to develop and grow. Over time, if you're developing more than one thing, you're going to find out that something is going to take precedence over the other things. Something is going to become stronger than these other things that you were doing over time. And you're going to be able to see it and feel it, and you're going to get that feeling that tells you and the proof and evidence that it's time to stop something and move over here, okay? So I am going to talk today about being a coach. I was a coach before. That's the reason why I shared the story. I literally was doing this, guys. I'm a strategist, okay? Did I say that right? Yeah, I am. All right. So I want you to know that you are who you are and you take you everywhere that you go. So one of these days, you're going to figure out that there's something that's stronger that I have to pull up to the forefront and let that be the thing. So I decided to put the shares down and I began to do the coaching thing. Now, I'm going to pull this thing up. I actually shared this yesterday on the Masterclass Marathon. I'm going to share it again real quick because I shared what coaching actually means. Here's the definition: a method of training, counseling, or instructing an individual or group how to develop skills to enhance their productivity or overcome a performance problem. The supervisor is called the coach while the learner is called the coachee. So it doesn't matter who you are or what you know. You can fall into the realm of coaching if you desire to do this. Now, I also want to talk about the fact that earlier, Coach Shaniqua said something about that you are able to reshape the world. As a coach, that's what we do. We take who we are and what we know, and we reshape the world, one person at a time. Now, I speak about it in the sense of doing it as a group coaching model, because as I began to help people one-to-one, those were private conversations. But then over time, you're going to determine how you reshape the world. And as Janice was saying, you're going to figure out who you really are. And she said something about what you are designed to do. You're going to figure out specifically what you're designed to do. And when you figure out what you're designed to do, you're going to have a specific avatar, which is a specific person that you're talking to and helping over and over again. Over time, you will figure out who this is. Some of you are going to have to do these avatar exercises, which are answering a bunch of questions to determine who you're really talking to. Over time, all of this comes together. Now, if you really want to figure these things out, you get with a person that can help you to discover these things, to help you to answer certain questions so that you understand the right path to take, so that you're not wandering around for way too long. And that is why you bring on someone like myself to help you to see clearly, to think about certain things, and to focus on who you really are and bring that once again to the forefront. So how do you decide to do this, and how do you feel safe doing it? One of the questions that most people ask themselves when you decide that you're going to start coaching is you say, well, why am I able to call myself a coach? This is a question that you ask yourself. And I think that this is a reason why a lot of people who help others will not take on the title of coach, because you find it to be a strong title. You're nervous about, can I really help people? Who am I to say that I can do this? I'm just a person. I'm still going through things right now. Well, guess what you should know? You are going to still be going through some things. But the question is, have you overcome something enough that you can help someone? You are an imperfect person. You're living life every day. But the question is, do you have enough information right now to help any one person? And when you discover that, then you can move forward to be able to help someone else. Now, there's another piece of this, which is something that you must possess to be able to feel like you can help others. It is confidence. Now, I took the liberty of going to find out the full description, the description of what confidence means. The state of feeling certain about the truth of something. The state of feeling certain about the truth of something. Is it true that you've overcome blank and you've learned how to do blank? And is it true that you still have more to learn? So yes, you know something and there's still more to learn. So just because there's still more to learn, why would you dismiss this part that you actually know something? That is the thing that most of you are doing. And that is why you haven't stepped into the realm of being a coach. Now, you still don't have to call yourself this person, but coaching is a thing. So there's another part of the description of confidence, which is a feeling of self-assurance, arising from one's appreciation of one's own abilities or qualities. You have to assure yourself that there's something that you know, that you have the ability and the qualities that it takes. You do not need to know everything to be in the space of being a coach. And this is all right now, this description is confidence. You just need to develop enough confidence. Mimi gave you a strategy, which is something that you're gonna have to do the video. You're just gonna have to do it until you become a millionaire, right? So you're gonna have to find strategies that you can use until you build all the confidence. So even if you get on live, it might not mean you have all the confidence. You did something to develop and build that confidence. So the more you build it, the more that you can actually be in this coaching arena. So what I want to talk about today is some of the things that coaches actually do. If you're considering to be a coach, I'm going to share 3 of the things that we're going to do. So we solve problems. Coaches solve problems, point blank, period. So if you want to overcomplicate it, you can do that if you want to, but you're solving some type of problem. So now the question is, back to what is it that you do and what's your zone of genius? What is it that you know? What were you designed to do and to be? When you figure that out, you can begin to help people right in that space, and you don't need to know everything. So you're going to help people to solve problems. You're going to need to know who that is. So you have to figure out who your avatar is so that you can help them with their problem over and over, help the same people consistently. It's no need to try to help the entire world. It just doesn't work that way. Another thing that I want to share with you is that you're going to be creating systems. You're going to create systems for the people that you solve the problems for. They want to know that you have a systematic approach to the problem that they have. Why will they come to you? Because you have a systematic approach, because you have these specific things that you help them with, and it's also laid out and clarified that these are the things that I assist you with. And I have a systematic approach to assist you to get from this point to this point. So even on your sales pages, guys, you're going to have to list out some things that you're helping them with. What is it that they're going to get? Do you actually have systems? So you want to make sure that you have clearly defined the things that you're going to help them with, all right? You also are going to, and I'm going to come back to this systematic thing because there's something else I want to share, but I forgot to tell you I have 3 things that I want to share with you. I'm so sorry I didn't tell you there were 3 things that I'm sharing tonight. So first was that you solve problems. Second is that you create systems. And third is that you are going to share resources with them. Now, there are a load of other things that coaches do, but tonight I don't have a lot of time, so I'm only sharing 3 things out of all the things that we do. But the third thing, the resources, here's what you need to know. As I said earlier, you don't need to know everything. The things that you don't know, even if they're in conjunction with what you need people to know, you have to refer them to those people. So let me share something within what I do. So as a life and business coach, I help new coaches to monetize their knowledge. I help them to take what they know, package it up, and create it as a product. That's plain and simple what I do. Now, there's other things in regards to who I am as a coach, but that's mainly what I do. Now, when it comes to helping them in this arena, there are some things that coaches have to do to build their coaching business that I am not the super duper expert on, but I understand. One of the things is going to be something like funnels. So what did I do? I understand funnels. I operate and create funnels and do funnels all day. I can give them information on that. But if they need the deep dive on the thing, then they need to go and talk to someone who can help them specifically with funnels. So in my program, I found a person who does funnels all day long. She is the resource. So you provide resources to your people for the things that you're not 100% an expert in. But I will touch on it. I will help my people through it. All of those things, they're going to get those things from me as the coach that's helping them to move from one position to the next. But when it comes to the deep dive, I am going to give resources, okay? So as a coach, you need to know your level of genius. You need to know the things that your people need to know and understand. And you need to also find resources. So in my program, in different areas of their learning, they're going to hit different spots where there are resources there. Specifically, when you become a coach, you have to have certain images that you can put out. If you don't have good images, you need to be able to go to where images are already located. There are places on the web where you can go and buy images that look amazing as if you took them yourself. That represents your business. So in my program, there are resources for these things because I'm not taking pictures for them. So these are a couple of things that you must do and have if you're going to be a coach. Once again, you're going to solve their problem and you have to know what the problem is that you're solving. And then to furthermore help them to solve the problem, you literally have to create a systems for them and have a systematic approach. Now, I will go into sharing right now that I want you to know that before I go into what I actually have to offer, one thing I really want to share tonight is coaches have to create a bunch of freebies. Now, this is like just something I wanted to share tonight. We have to have things that people can see that help them to know how much information we have. The freebie is the place where you put information that you have in the freebie so that they can click on it, receive it, check it out, and it shows a fair representation of the information that you have. Some of our freebies are the lives that we do. We get on live and we share information with our audience so that you see how much info we actually have, so that you make a choice if you want to get closer. So those of you who are not doing these things, you're making a serious mistake by not showing up and by not also creating things that people can get on in their downtime and just kind of play around and look at. Okay. All right. So I am now going to share who I am and how you can connect with me because my 13 minutes is up. I have so much more information. Oh my gosh. So I'm Coach Tamika James. I'm a life and business coach. I help you to monetize your knowledge. I help you to take what you know and package it up properly. Who am I talking to? I am talking to the entrepreneur, those of you out there that have this information about something. You've been through something. You want to help someone to get through it. You know how to do something and you want to teach someone how to do it. You literally want to share your level of expertise with someone who needs it. You've been asked questions over and over again. For me, when you ask me a question, anytime you ask me a question more than 3 times, that needs to be a product. That needs to be a video. That needs to be something somewhere, some piece of audio, something, because I'm not going to say that thing 1,000,001 times. So we have to know how to do this. So I'm talking to the person, you know that there's something, but you're tired of sitting there trying to figure out how to pull all of the pieces of the puzzle together. You're actually ready to do the thing. You're ready to move forward. You're not coming to me confused about if you should start or not, because I've experienced those who are like, I'm on the fence. I don't know. I'm not talking to you. I'm only talking to those of you who have committed to moving forward. That's who I'm speaking to today and every day. Now, I'm here to share information on a free platform for those of you who are unsure about where you want to go. But when you're sure, I want you to book a call with me. So that's what I would love for you to do. Just let's get on a call and let's just talk about where you are and the fact that you're ready to move forward. On a call, we're going to discuss where you are, and we're going to talk about what the first steps are, first, second, and third, and we're going to talk about what it takes. So that is what I'm sharing tonight. The program my main program that I have to offer to you is called Become a Coach. Whether you want to call yourself a coach or not, you're doing this coaching thing. So the program is called Become a Coach, but I'm here to help you to pull everything together quickly and effectively. Inside the program, it's about your understanding of where you are and what you're set to do. Your visibility, how do you actually do that? Because you guys are building these products and people don't see you. And the reason why you haven't built the product is because you know that nobody knows you. But I'm going to help you to be able to be known, because I have a part of my program that allows you to create community, which is what you need. Okay, so I know I didn't even put the timer on for me for the 2 minutes. I'm the final speaker here tonight. I want to tell you guys, thank you so much for joining the Masterclass Marathon and being here with us, listening to all of the amazing speakers. I want to tell all my speakers, thank you for showing up and showing out, sharing your information in an organized format, sharing who you are with those who need to connect with you, and just being here in your natural element. I appreciate you guys so, so much. So when we close out, what you need to know is that you're able to watch this as a replay in the series area of my my Instagram page. Click on the videos and you'll see series, and you can watch all the Masterclass marathons that have occurred. There are a few that are missing because there's this thing that happens when we collaborate with someone else and they started it, and I'm not able to grab it unless I do all of this special stuff. So it's like, these are things you need to learn about social media, guys, just so you know. So everything can't be done based upon, you have to know how to operate. So in any case, sometimes the Masterclass Marathon is run by someone else in my absence to make sure it still happens. But here's what you need to know. Everything we're doing, you need a systematic approach to doing it. I already knew that this is going to continue on. Question was, what do I do when I can't be present? You have to think ahead, and you have to plan ahead and strategize for it. How do you handle it when something is, not the way that it normally happens? Okay. So you also can watch this on my YouTube channel, which is called Entrepreneur Speak with Tamika James, and you're able to watch it over there as well. Speakers, thank you. You guys were amazing. You can still share this live out if you're watching, and you can share it out after it has already closed out, just so you know it's still not too late to close this live out. I also want to share with you, yes, be proactive and not reactive. I want to share with you that I have a couple of Clubhouse rooms So please connect with me in Clubhouse so that you can come and join us. Mimi and I are in a Clubhouse room where we do information on social media for coaches. That's on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. So make sure you're staying tuned and connected. And that's pretty much it. Closing out, if you want to be a speaker, masterclassmarathon.com is how you get signed up. And you can be here with us on Saturdays at 12 and Sundays at 7. Yes, I want to set my business up so I don't have to show up all the time. We got to get strategies, processes, procedures. Oh my gosh, SOPs, guys. All right, that's it. Have a great night. Thank you all for joining, and see you guys next week. Good night.